Clear.
Yeah, baby, that is right. It is time. Ladies and gentlemen, I could not be happier to be right here, right now.
We're in Austin, Dallas, Texas.
For San Diego.
Get involved and have a reaction out here.
It's the second contest of opening weekend for the AVP League. We're in Westwood at UCLA Tennis Center, and this place has turned into a sandbox that goes unmatched to any in your local neighborhood as we get set for the San Diego Smash. Chase Budinger and Miles Evans, the recent Olympians, will face off against the LA Launch Team TNT, Tim Bomgren and Troy Field, fan favorites. But will their game be enough against the Olympians? A look into the UCLA Tennis Center, and this place has been all about jumpers. Cameron Irwin alongside Kevin Barnett, and we have already seen just how fast this game can go. Matches playing just to 15 points alone. What are you looking for now in this first set?
With two teams that have never met before, I want to see who they're attacking first. Are you attacking one person? Are you working a strategy against one person in particular? Or are you going best serve to try and destabilize the other side?
Destabilize the other side. A look to the leaderboard now, as this is a whole new look in the inaugural league on the AVP. The New York Nitro pick up 2 team points with a 2-0 victory over the Brooklyn Blaze. It's now time for the LA Launch and the San Diego Smash. Time to send it to Mark Sherman down on the sand.
And we are set for our third match. It is time for San Diego and Los Angeles, everybody. First up, the San Diego Smash. And our first player, the 6'4" defender, the Olympian out of Santa Barbara, California. Let me hear it for Miles Evans. And wearing the number 2 from the NBA to the AVP out of Encinitas, California, standing 6 feet, 7 inches tall, it's Seabud Chase Budinger. And their opponents, your LA Launch. Oh, the first part of TNT out of Woodbury, Minnesota, standing 6 feet 3 inches tall, maybe playing about 6 feet tall. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Timmy Bomgren. And his partner wearing number 2 out of Dana Point, California, standing 6'4", playing like he's 6 feet, jumping out of the sand.
Kevin, you mentioned it, just the first meeting between these two teams, TNT in white.
So not only is it, what's your strategy coming in, but how quickly do you get off it? How quickly can you assess whether it's working or not and change? With just 15 points, win by 2, best of 3 sets, and you don't have extra timeouts, you don't have that technical to think about it. You really have to make some decisions on the fly. The players have already talked about the demands of that. You're going to see a side switch when you're thinking this set has just started, and now they're already moving.
I think there's going to be a substantial shift into the second half of the league in terms of strategy played, as these athletes are still trying to figure out what the best strategy is, as that's Troy Field on the defense.
You know the best strategy is? Just go full force all the time.
Full defense, Tim Bomgren, the lefty finding the sand.
Troy Field winning that one with that absolute dead sprint to the right front to get that redirect. I mean, this is going to be the end of that play, but the premium part was earlier. That might be the highlight of the match on rally number 1.
Coming into this matchup, Chase and Miles are 8-15 against the field all time. Oh, that is just nasty. They've talked about it. It's jumper sand, and that's going to benefit that man right there.
Well, it's going to benefit everybody that wants to hit on 2. A lot easier to get your feet under you, get good purchase, and push off the surface. So I think that's why we've seen a lot more option play.
Troy Field finding that one through the middle. And he's a guy that can elevate in his own right.
Well, yeah, if you're going to give out jumper sand, then you might want to be a little scared of the mustache.
Try to figure out what to compare that mustache. The greatest of all time. Who's at the top of the list for you?
Well, any magician, any run-of-the-mill 19th century magician. He could have been the 3rd magician on the Prestige or something.
That's a good movie.
It is a good movie.
2-0. So interesting to look at Tim Bomgren's numbers. I mean, this is a guy that's been around for seasons and yet still playing at the top.
Yeah, and he's a guy who's a professional, works otherwise, has a real job, has a family. He does get full training. He works for Anaplan software company, but he trains in the mornings before everybody's up. He used to have his brother's court. Now he's got to play at another court because his brother replaced the one-time sand court with a pickleball facility.
Man, pickleball taking over the world.
Indeed.
Option play here.
Nice little scoop by Chase.
Troy backing off the net yet again. That looks like trouble, but he saves himself. Tim Bomgren, the magician.
What I love on that play is that Troy saw this ball struck and started celebrating before it hit sand. The ball was halfway there and Troy was already headed to the crowd. Sean Cook, Troy Field, I think they're made for this format.
Bring on the cowbell. Did you hear that in the backdrop?
You know, Cam, I put on my pants one leg at a time. The difference is I make gold records.
Oh, gosh.
More cowbell, Cam.
Always more cowbell.
Super producer Bruce Dickinson.
Chase Budinger with the jump float. Breaks right over the top. And man, this is the first time we're seeing Chase Budinger since Chicago. And by the way, that footage has now gone viral on the AVP. Chase Budinger getting into it with Trevor Kraft.
I think it's one of the more interesting things that's happened in a long time. Maybe not Chase's brightest moments in terms of the way he'd want to react to that situation, but sure made things interesting.
I mean, he was provoked. Kind of like that swing.
What do you think the resolution of that should have been from a referee standpoint?
I mean, I like the double red.
You do? Okay. I wanted a red for Chase and a yellow for Trevor.
I mean, coming underneath the net like that, kind of like shoulder. And don't get me wrong, I love Trev.
He didn't bump into him.
He didn't, but it was close quarters.
Chase made all the contact. Doesn't matter now.
Unless you're a fan of the AVP.
Look at that, over the top of the block. We were talking about jumper sand. There's an illustration of just how high Troy Field can get. Wild to me that this team now has been around for 5 years. They were the breakthrough team in 2019. They went away from each other, got back together. I like these guys together.
Oh, he did it again. That is a bad man.
Oh, look, they're both going the same direction. One, Miles Evans going to complain. Troy tracking him, but playing to the crowd the whole time.
You guys are still locked up. Once you unlock, you went one direction. That's it. He
That's
doesn't
a little
have to let it go if
sticky.
you guys are locked
Little
up.
sticky.
I don't know, did you see Troy's Instagram this week? Because he literally put a compilation of highlights together doing this exact same thing.
Ooh, Troy pulled it back, by the way. I'm gonna go back with you, Cam. I will side with Miles on this one. That one got pushed back and put back forward by Troy Field. You chime in at home. The old IBM, you make the call.
Joining us for the first time, sets just played to 15 points, so we are about the midway point. There are no technical timeouts, just one allotted for each team. Talking to the athletes thus far, they mentioned trying to take those timeouts a little bit earlier than they traditionally would.
Well, I like that. Indoor could take a hint from this because indoor has too many timeouts. One timeout per set's enough. You figure out the rest while you're out there.
A short serve to Bomgren. That's a nice play. You can see why this team has elevated themselves.
Well, it's the tempo that benefits them here. They put a lot of pressure on the block of Troy Field with the tempo. And even tempo when Miles Evans was down on the ground. That gives you just how quick he is getting from the sand back into hitting position.
Look at the numbers between these two defenders, and they're pretty much right at the same mark, about 3.9 digs per set. As you can see, that ball just trailing long from Chase Budinger.
I'm really interested to see, say, 4 weeks in, 5 weeks into league play, how the stats start to shape up as another option play is converted there. Because we're right now working off the heritage stats and what we've seen over the course of 3 traditional events. You don't know your opponent. You don't know how many matches you're going to play. A lot of people play vastly different numbers of matches throughout heritage play. Here, same number of matches. You're going to play once a night. You know what's coming for a while. You can scout and get ready for your opponent, develop a game plan. I want to see where those numbers track with all that preparation and knowledge.
Well, it's going to give you a real glimpse into just the adjustment from 15 to 21 points, and especially from the aggressiveness side. How many unforced errors? Who's best at limiting those?
Reminds me very much of when the indoor game went from being 2-15, where you had to serve to score, to the rally score format. It compressed everything, made every ball contact so much more important. And now we're seeing already how vital it is. You cannot fall behind. The moment you're down right about this point in a set, right around the 10-point mark, if you have a 4-point lead, you're more inclined to just rip serves. And the other team is really on the defensive, starts to feel that pressure.
You make a good point. This is not the first time we've seen volleyball take a bit of a swerve and change a little bit of the format.
Oh no, we've seen a million different formats.
But so far, this one is looking electric and lightning fast. As there's a quick turn from the LA launch.
La Lanche. La Lanche with the points. And the play to his people. Troy's feeling the people tonight.
I mean, when is he not?
No, but here it's just a forum for him. It's like handing him a microphone or something.
Troy Field out of Laguna Beach, California. We've seen him in a defensive position as well as up at the net. Becoming a blocker again, except for this time, look who's there. Tim Bomgren trying to get a touch. Instead, it's the forced error.
Yeah, they're not afraid to split block in different situations. Both have played defender full time, depending upon the year.
Tim and Troy playing in their 15th AVP together. That's been since 2019, like you mentioned. You can see Casey Patterson in the box coaching up TNT. That's an added benefit if I've ever seen one. On the other side, Chase and Miles. I believe Ed is in the mix for those two. Mark Sherman down on the sand as you look to the schedule. And what's up next? We will have 8 weekends of regular play through the fall with the championship. Just the top 4 teams making it to the Los Angeles event come November 9th through the 10th. Who will be at the top? There is a good amount on the line for these teams as they're playing for some big bucks.
And of course, all these are 2-day events. There are 4 teams at each event, and you're going to play 2 of them. If you're on one of the squads, you won't play everybody. You'll play 2 of the teams. Tomorrow we have the Blaze taking on the Smash, and then the Nitro taking on the Launch. That'll be a cross-coastal battle, New York versus LA.
And a look to the rest of the roster for the San Diego Smash, Gina Urango and Tony Rodriguez. This is a team that is on the up and up after the Heritage Series events.
Yeah, I think they're one of the hottest teams coming in. That they have played their best volleyball as of late, and tonight I give them best outfits thus far, best costumes.
That will be up next. You get a chance to see Tony and Gina in the mix.
Gina's always had some swag, though. Back to the gold sheep days with Gina.
Absolutely. In terms of some serving distribution, both Tim and Troy have seen just about the same amount to this point. On the other side, Miles has seen the majority of the side-out pressure.
Yeah, I think it's what a lot of people have done is try and work on Miles. They feel like they can get to him, and if you can keep him off the net, too, keep him from passing that ball up for Chase to take, then you really limit him. There he tried to scoop it and give it to him. Might have been a good time to take it, as Tim was not even thinking about it. Now, see, that's the kind of thing a coach should be talking to your players about on a side switch, right? Is that last pass, this pass was all the way to that side, and Tim Bomgren was just hanging out 15 feet away. Let Chase go ahead and detonate on that.
Speaking of detonate. Oh, what a dig. Does it stay on his side? The butter from Budinger. Paying it off is his partner.
Just hate that as an attacker when you get a hold of one and hit it right to the guy who makes an outstanding play.
San Diego Smash still trailing by 2. With the right hand. Side out needed for the LA Launch. Now just 2 away.
Yeah, the thing there, Miles was ready for that line shot. What he wasn't ready for was that lack of depth. That ball was well short into the court.
They stay on Miles.
It was open again. Troy was thinking about it, but I still think that's wide open. I think you had to crank a couple of those.
He thought about it.
Yeah, don't fake it, take it.
That's a new motto for you.
Ooh, that ball might have been out.
They like serving that right shoulder of Troy Field as the net violation. There's no questions asked. All right, so the San Diego Smash trail by just 1. Where do they go now? They've gone to both Tim and Troy.
I think they're going best serve. That one might have been a little bit long. I would go short.
Now on a 4-1 run. They go short, like you said. Is it good? Corner pocket, Miles Evans.
That was really interesting to follow. All the action going that way. Chase Budinger chasing that direction, and a little cross defense from Miles Evans, putting himself in a good spot with that right slide.
It's a race to 2. The option play from the southpaw.
Well, yeah, and the advantage, right? This is when you have to close. When you have the opportunity right there with the ad, you got to score a real point immediately. No daylight.
Set point. Tough first contact. Nice recycle. And into the corner, Tim and Troy take the first.
Tim and Troy have had some nice touch through this first set. That was a really quick little bang-bang play. Watch the touch here. And the control. I don't know, that was off the base of the wrist there from Tim Bomgren. I don't think that's in the training manual, but that turn and swing is.
You said it, this format is built for that duo. TNT with the crowd behind them, taking set number 1. Just the first meeting between these 2 teams. The AVP League is brought to you by Wilson, the official ball of the AVP.
How about a little magic, huh?
Look to TNT and Casey Patterson, one of the absolute vets of the game, an Olympian in his own right. We got a chance to catch up with Casey at one of our Heritage Series events, and his mind not only goes in terms of the strategy and scheme, but he provides a lot too from the mentality standpoint, Kev.
Yeah, he's all about that, right? Casey, a guy who I don't think a lot was expected of when he came out of college, played a little bit professionally in Puerto Rico indoors, and then pushed himself over onto the beach and filled a variety of different roles and became the elder statesman, playing with a host of legendary players, becoming one himself.
As you look to the LA launch, Betsy Flint, Julia Scholes, the women's pairing for this team. And Betsy and Julia, they did some damage in 2023.
Interesting in the first set, Bomgren 8 of 10. So I wouldn't let Tim have any more action, although he's taking quite a few in these off plays. Evans, 7 of 10. That's good. Here's the problem. 3 errors. So not 3 zeros. Gave away 3 points in the reverse. So really his hitting percentage is 4 of 10. And having a discussion still about that play. You shouldn't be talking about that play right now. That was ages ago. And interestingly for this match, with the sand, you'd think maybe people could offload some tough service. 0 aces. And Miles Evans is a guy, there's no aces on the whole floor. And then Miles Evans is a guy who can get that kind of cross the ball, right to left cutty shot. He should hit that from that right side. I'd like to see him light it up a little bit as he did there, but from the service line.
That is a whip of an arm swing from Miles Evans.
Well, that's how you take out the frustration about that play, but you should do it right after that play, not now at this point when that was mid-set. There he goes. There he goes. I like that. Good start for Evans.
Trying to go off one foot is Troy Field, sending it down to the third member of our crew. Rich Lambert, what are you doing?
I got Casey Patterson down here with me. Case, you're in the box with TNT, but how much would you have liked to have played in this format?
Playing at night, at home. I mean, in tennis centers like this is incredible. It's the most fun I've had. We're playing in places like this, and then to be able to travel around the nation and do it, that would have been incredible because I would have been finding best friends, guys heckling me. It would have been amazing.
Yeah, I mean, just tailor-made for kind of your style of entertainment.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you get a chance to go perform. And under the lights, you'll always bring a little bit more.
Did you bring an actual baton to pass to Troy Field as the entertainer on the AVP?
Yes, I actually did, wrapped in gold. It's like four circles instead of 5 over the Olympics. It's like an almost there.
Love it, love it. Case, thanks so much for being here, and we love having you.
And almost there. That's called a knockoff. All right, my top
buy
draft
that on the
picks.
streets of Paris.
My top draft picks for this format from days of yore. I'm going to take Casey Patterson. I'm going to take Superman Sean Rosenthal because you know he's bringing the Raiders, and they're going to be gnarly at night, little libations before they get started in the evening. And then I want to bring Tim Hovland. And I want to bring Tim Hovland just today. Let's just bring him and hand him a microphone and have the 7-second delay on the broadcast ready to go.
Yeah, you're going to need that sensor.
Get the Hov out here.
4-1, the smash out to a hot start in the second set, make it 4-2 now.
And what was it? Tough serving. And some nice plays by Miles Evans. He's had a good start to the second set.
Chase and Miles coming off a 4th place finish at the 2024 Paris Olympic Games. It was a late run by them to get into those games. Chase with a nice touch, quick set. Can he? Little scoop and deliver with the lefty.
Well, that was his own scoop and his own deliver, wasn't it?
Exactly.
A little touch on the block, and then you hear his partner say, hit it, hit it. Redirects it to himself, and then does his best Tim Bomgren impression.
Wonder who he was calling there on the celebration. What do you feel like the best set for Chase Budinger is? Do you want to see him with a high ball, quick ball? What are you thinking?
That's a good question. I don't know that I have an answer to that right now. I'll think about that. I would like any set where Chase is a little bit ticked off. I think when he's a little bit angry, when he's a little out of that kind of cerebral space, I'm thinking about this, I'm a professional athlete, this is important business. When he's playing with a little more of that primitive instinct and Chase is unloading on balls and reacting and making plays, I want him in a 3G negative dive with a Russian MiG. I don't want him thinking, I just want him reacting.
All right, Maverick. Miles Evans with a nice full send on the defense in transition. He had some early luck there in the second set with the ace down the line, this time just wide.
Hey, I like the idea a lot. I like the idea a lot. Just missed it, but keep going for it if you're Miles Evans.
Chase Budinger, 6'7", one of the tallest teams when you look at them as a duo, considering Miles Evans, 6'4". And that's Troy Field with the dig. He dropped his hands, and he's gonna want that block back.
Troy's starting to feel it a little bit here, and I like it. And I like that set too, a little bit off, right? Left him about 2.5 feet off, that's perfect.
Working the split block again, Bomgren pulling. The LA Longs were able to pick up this second set and the team point. That would be a massive start for them against this solid team of the Smash. Coming in, TNT just 5-4 against the field.
They've been a little bit up and down. I don't think that they've performed at the level that I thought they would over the Heritage Event Series. I expected to see them a lot more in semifinals. But they finished strong in Chicago. That's what got them into the league at all.
They fell in the semifinal, finished with a third. Had a third in Huntington Beach as well.
All right, I really like what I'm seeing from the San Diego Smash, Budinger and Evans. Some on-two stuff, an aggressive start for Evans, both from the service line but also at the net. Now I'd like to see Chase get back to some of those on-twos.
High set, the no look down the line.
Yeah, TNT's doing a good job of chopping around Chase right now. They've been a couple of bombs, but they've also chopped that line multiple times.
So we talk about jumper stand from an attacking standpoint, but how does that vary as a blocker?
How does it vary as a blocker? You're able to get up higher. I think you can play with timing a little bit more. You can wait a little bit and then jump up. But right now, we're not seeing a ton of off-pace shots. We're seeing line cuts, but it's not like people are waiting. You're not playing Taylor Crabb right now. Guys have different style. Everyone is having essentially the same timing, so it may allow you to jump, and more like a mole, you could reach up, reach over, make these big moves. Coordinate that with your defense, I think you might benefit.
Trying to reach up was Chase Budinger. Troy Field, the numbers are impressive for him coming into this matchup. Even considering their finishes, his offense is pretty high, one of the top, in the top 4 against the field. See what I did there? Troy Field in the field. Come on now. It's never good if you have to explain your joke.
R.I.P. Jim Phil Jones.
Yeah, step left.
Turns that one to the right side.
Yeah, he likes to go around the side of the ball that way.
Little hang time, slam dunk, but that is a double-handed scoop from Troy Field. Can't find that one. That one's 3 courts over.
I like that Troy just never quits on a play. Right, from rally number 1 where he made that huge sprint to the right-hand side to here when he's backing off, and generally that's going to be a kill when a ball's up on top of the net with the opponent blocker there. He never gives up on a play. He's constantly digging for a better effort.
These two needing to find a bit more effort into this second set. As you see what's coming up next, as we will head off to Miami, Florida. And of course, San Diego. So fun to get beach volleyball back into one of the meccas here in Southern California. You can guarantee San Diegans are stoked to see the AVP return, as well as in Austin, Texas. That was probably one of our favorite stops in the early stages of us being on the AVP back in 2018, 2019. Chance to see Austin in the mix as you look to the league standings. This is just after the first contest between the New York Nitro and the Brooklyn Blaze, a 2-0 win. And the New York Nitro, they feel like they've got a pretty stacked roster. Sarah Hughes, Kelly Chang, and the Taylors, Taylor Crabb and Taylor Sander.
I thought both of them played some pretty exceptional volleyball, and that's what these nights are all about, right? You're going to go about 3 hours in a show. You're going to get 4 top quality matches. This is AVP concentrate for your enjoyment. You don't have to water it down, you just drink it straight.
It's like the protein powder.
I'll take it from you.
Back out of the timeout. 9-11, the LA launch with the serve in hand.
Do we get a 3-setter? That's the question.
We have yet to, as Tim Bomgren goes up and finds one. Bomgren, the shortest of the quad.
All right, now here's what I go into. If I'm Evans, I receive serve, pop it way up and push it. Push it way over to Chase. Push it to the left-hand side.
Potential French fries here.
I think he was trying to get it there, just had a little bit too much pace. Chase dealt with it, but that's a good plan at the moment.
Chase Budinger, serve and run to the net. They've been trying to find that right shoulder of Troy Field. Go back to the middle.
Oh, Tim got lucky that he caught the net that time. Evans was right on that shot. He was all over it, except for the fact that it ate half the cable.
Yeah. Gosh, it's so wild to think about Tim Bomgren in his career. 37 years old. Still looking for his first AVP title outside of a Tour Series event. Imagine what a team title would be in the league. There's a question here. What's the call?
Called it out. Ball was out. Tim was trying to gooseneck that thing down. Watch him here. Just trying to slap it, and it is well wide. Good call by our officials. No question there. Missed opportunity. What could have been?
San Diego Smash looking for a third set. And with the hitting error, now just 1 point away. Would be the first 3-set match we have seen.
Errors, costly. Mentioned Miles Evans, 3 errors in the first set. He has played much better in the second. His team with a set point.
Field on the high ball. And another error. You mentioned it, Kevin. They are starting to stack up for the LA launch. We are going to a third set. TNT need to clean up their game.
You like to feel as though the result is on your side of the net, but you don't like it when that result isn't going your way because of your side of the net. That was 3 errors in a row to close that. So let's see how the strategy changes and how, when we're headed to this third set, Team TNT can rebound. That was kind of a miserable end. But the great thing about volleyball is you go back to 0-0. You can make a bunch of those errors, just wash them down with a little bit of Celsius and then move on.
Well, this is the one juncture where a set to 15 feels awfully normal for these 4 athletes. Playing to just 15 points, they will continue to switch every 5 serves. We had a chance to catch up with the athletes. Take a look at what they had to say about playing in the league.
So one of the things that popped in my head was like, how are people going to respond to this new team environment? We're pretty solo out here on the beach, kind of just taking care of yourself, and some people are just going to do their own thing. My immediate thought is for sure, like, group up. You got all these smart volleyball players, smart people.
I don't know, maybe we'll train a little bit together, maybe we'll watch film together.
Oh, you know, I'm all about the group video sessions. You know, I'll be trying to get my claws into the other team.
Now you can all work together and so you can find some new strategies. And so yeah, like thinking about it, I'd hope there'd be some form of like team camaraderie, if that's how you say that word.
But I also kind of look at it because I played beach volleyball in college where we had teammates that we had to rely on. So I kind of understand the aspect of you can't win on your own.
For me, am I going to start giving these women, tips and some of my tricks to try to succeed, or am I going to start helping coach them, or are they going to start helping coach us? And I think you're going to have to, right? Because 4 minds is better than 2, maybe.
I just love it because there's still so much unknown. They think they go in with a game plan. He's even saying, well, I think it's going to work out differently and better.
Huge unknown for the men especially because it's a brand new experience. You heard Kelly Chang, Sarah Hughes mention that. Totally new experience for them to have teammates.
Well, speaking of teammates, let's go down to our teammate, Rich Lamborn.
I got Matt Hagee here, tight with Miles. I feel like I should get the scoop in my V-neck. We're trying to go maximum meat on camera. What do we think our guy needs to do here to close out this match?
Close out. So, I'm not going to lie to you, I got here a little late, but it just seems like, sometimes the teams, you got to play their game. They always kind of come out like the team's trying to get after them.
Okay. All right, so he's a friend, not a great friend, a little bit of a rambling analysis. Okay. We're roommates.
He likes to draw out games, I feel like.
He likes to create a fan experience is what we got from this. We're going to go back up to you guys.
Kevin?
How'd I do, says Matt Hagee.
I'm not sure where to take it from there.
Well, I'll tell you what, take a look at the stats from the second set. Really nice set from Miles Evans. Didn't have as many offensive responsibilities, but picked up an ace, made just 1 error in that set. And he and his partner, Chase Budinger, caused a whole bunch of errors from the other side.
That's a nice set. How did he stay out of the net?
Yeah, they run Troy Field ragged on that play. On the other side, a whole bunch of errors now piling up. Field with 3 on the offensive aspect of the game.
Well, this is a good time at the start of set 3 to talk about how the league standings will shape up. With a pair win, you will come with a team point added to your total. Another scoop from Troy Field. I mean, this guy is playing some defense.
You might not want to hit just the seam ball when you're putting it over, or you might want to hit it a lot harder with this guy hanging out there. Troy Field was digging in on those plays, making a quick read, and never giving up on the ball. It pays again.
Sitting in the backcourt again. Can he find one more? I think that's through the uprights or over the top. Either way, point to Chase.
Tim was coming up a little bit late there and almost a split block and then trying to reach over.
That's 6'3", trying to block 6'7". Seeing a lot of middle serves that wide.
I think you're just going best serve. I think with that extra height, you feel like you can drive the ball down the middle of the court with a reasonable amount of pace and just put the other team to a choice.
Yeah. Look to who's next. You mentioned the
kits. Best kits. Yeah.
That's pretty legit.
Yeah, I like the striped leggings. It's totally legit.
Tony Rodriguez, Gina Urango. They are a part of the San Diego Smash. Gina Urango even saying that she was playing some video games, some Smash Bros to get ready for this one.
Getting in on it. Smash Bros is real big with the indoor men's side in USA Volleyball, the bronze medalists. An awkward landing there for Troy Field, frustration. He needs to conjure up a little better play here in the third set.
This is the first tie here in the third set. It's the 4th of the entire match. He had an open net. That'll make you salty.
A little too cute by half here because I think he saw Miles Evans charging across the retreating Budinger, who went back into the left position there. And Miles was charging around that right-hand side. I think that made Troy feel the pressure. He had to cut it really short, and there's that middle.
The ace from Chase Budinger. Let's check in with Rich. Who's his guest now?
I got Gina Urango down here. elated after a couple good plays from your boys. Is it dicey having to kind of live and die with what's going on out there?
I mean, it's kind of exciting to have the team aspect a little bit. You know, obviously us too, but then them as well. So it's kind of fun to watch and support and have it be combined with the men and women.
And you get to see this first, so you know what you got to do out there?
Yeah, being the last match, we got to see some trial and error. So we're like, all right, we're going to try and, you know, make some good decisions out there and play into the different lights and the night scheme. So.
Does it alter the way you prepare, or you just kind of do your thing no matter what and kind of put your best foot forward?
I mean, you got to get aware of the surroundings, so luckily we were able to practice on the court earlier today. But obviously the nighttime is a little bit different, so just getting adjusted to that for sure.
Okay. Luckily you have some amazing glasses. Good luck out there.
Adjusting the light, rocking the blenders, as she is one of their main athletes. Her and, I mean, Coach Prime, that's like some pretty nice territory to be a part of.
Yeah, I'd like to get the Urangos. Does she have a signature model?
She literally is on billboards all over San Diego. It's perfect that she's on the San Diego Smash.
As she ought to be.
See her just about everywhere. And I spoke with her actually about the lights, as she is a former USC Trojan. We were talking about the indoor lights at the Galen Center and just kind of how they're situated and the vision tonight as they are lighting up the UCLA Tennis Center. Looking for the touch there to TNT.
TNT is looking a little frustrated. I'd like to see him play carefree. Of course, Troy was playing to the crowd in that first set with things going his way. He's got a little tight here because he's missed a couple of shots, including that one. He's lucky to get the touch. If you're Troy, you got to find a way to just loosen back up.
That ended the 6-1 run as they start another here. Chase again and the on-2 to your point.
Yeah, on-2, and I'd like it pushed even further because that was still to Tim Bomgren's right. I'd like to go way outside, kick it all the way to the pin.
Bomgren stealing the side out.
And here's the other thing. When you push that ball to the pin, as we're going to see a side out here from the San Diego Smash, when you push to the pin, we've already seen tempo to Evans. So now you have Field and Bomgren thinking about butting or swinging on 2, right? They're going to shade that way. Then you give tempo. That's even more open net for Evans, or just serve aces.
I think that's where you're seeing some of the depth perception. It was almost as if, like, when we were watching Therese Cannon, kind of that same serve, high, deep at the chest, and kind of tough to see whether that ball's going to stay in or out.
Just a late decision, too late.
A much-needed point, though, for TNT as they are now within 1, 8-9 in set 3. Again, this third set just to 15 points. And when we consider tie-break situations at the end of the season as we look to the championships, these 3 setters make a difference.
Absolutely. If you win 2-0, you get 3 points. If you win 2-1, you're going to get 2 points. If you're the team that won that one set, you're going to get 1, and that'll definitely make a difference.
And again, those are just in regards to tiebreaker points. If it comes down to that, if the standings say your team is at 8-8 with another team.
Right, so there's 16 total matches to be played between the pairs, 8 men's, 8 women's, on each team. So the pairs will each play 8 times. If that record matches, then we'll start talking about who's going based on that tiebreak. Did you get a 2-0 here in LA at the very start of the season, and that was the kicker? We'll see.
7 more weeks of regular season play after the conclusion of this. We'll be back in action tomorrow. A chance to see more teams out here at the UCLA Tennis Center.
And this is what you want, right? You want quarterfinals, you want finals, you want semifinal type matchups when you're at the Heritage events. You get excited about those events. We're giving you those back-to-back days. That's all you're getting, that top flight action.
Too much flight on that one as San Diego Smash now up by 2. That feels like a huge miss at this juncture. Oh, they're gonna look at this.
Yeah, that's gonna be really close. Hard to tell from that angle. That is right next to the line.
Time to take a look at the ball mark.
What's the call?
And the call will stand. At least he got down off the stand to take a look.
Confirmed.
That feels like a huge error coming out of the timeout. It's a 1-point ball game, and the serve is missed long.
And off the ace.
That one hurts as there's a back-to-back service error.
And Troy saying obviously it was in because the ball never lies.
Thank you. Some sports sayings just never go away.
Well, the Madden curse is real. That's my fantasy football team at the moment. Oh, a little flipper.
Can he pay it off? Finds deep middle.
Miles has really steadied out from that first set. He's played good volleyball throughout and made some of these off plays. And he's done it being aggressive at the net. He's still whipping that thing even though it's coming from behind him, and he's just pulling himself up out of the sand.
UCSB product. Had an outstanding career there. Played for 2 seasons.
Yeah, don't forget, he led the state in kills when he played at Santa Barbara City before that.
10-11 here. We're getting close. The San Diego Smash, the LA launch. Just a handful of points away from getting on the board first. What in the world?
The mesmerizer.
I mean, that was the slow roller of a serve. Right on the midline. Can he go 2 for 2? This time, Schur's up the platform. Oh, they made something out of that. That was risky.
Well, I like the idea a lot. Just the execution left something to be desired there. See how far he pushed it across the net? That's the right idea, but it has to be higher if Chase is going to hit it. And then Chase sent it back across, but it was a little too tight to the net.
Somebody's got to turn some points here. Good touch from Bomgren. High set, and man, it's like he just hangs up there. Chase Budinger showcasing the hang time and the offense. Now what does he have in defense? Good touch from field.
Yeah, now's the time. You got to convert this one. You cannot let the smash get to 14. I think they're going to close it the way they've been playing. They're pretty efficient through these last 2 sets. You got to transition the ball right now.
Betsy Flint, Julia Scholes in the mix right now on the sidelines. They're cheering on their team, trying to get the fans on the side. Huge dig, soft platform from Bomgren as he slaps it to the line. Tie ball game.
Said they had to have it. Look at this cross movement there by Bomgren. That is a Wapaka boat ride special.
(4-2) run. Slowing them down, and the simplicity, man, just to go from a swing like that in a play to just simple option and match point for the San Diego Smash. Vince Vaughn in the house. He's becoming quite the beach volleyball fan.
It's a good place to spend time.
A must-have for the LA launch. Tied up 14-all, you must win by 2. 1 set point, or 1 match point. Send it off.
Interesting they're going to split block here. I think they've been more effective with Troy at the net.
Bomgren just had a block. He gets a touch, and the joust. Muscling down is Chase Budinger.
Sorry, Timmy, you nearly had that one. My bad for doubting you.
I mean, if Bomgren came away with that one. Chase is still smiling. Second match point, and it's the ace! Miles Evans from the service line gets the San Diego Smash on the board first.
And that's a Miles Evans match. I think he's the factor right there. He's getting the majority of the serves. He's called upon to give Chase some opportunities on 2. He got more aggressive from the service line. He made a bunch of other little off plays, got quickly out of the sand to get some kills. Really liked the way that Miles responded from what was an error-filled first set to an effective finish with the ace. That signature, right? Cut across the ball, serve it from right to left. That's been bad for opponents in the San Diego Smash.
A well-fought victory. You can see the elation from Chase Budinger after dropping the first finding number 2 as well as number 3. Got Ed in the box. You can guarantee there's going to be some conversation and celebration down there. Troy Field finding Vince Vaughn. And the rest of the crew, glad to have them here, but let's go to Mark Sherman now with the winners. We'll get Mark Sherman into the mix. There's a look.
The San Diego Smash with the first 3-set victory in the league. All right, Chase, we loved watching in the NBA. Now here in the AVP, brand new format in a different kind of league. What was that like?
It was really fun. I think one of the coolest things is playing at night. Makes a little different element, and the crowd was amazing. You guys were all great, so I love playing in front of all you guys.
These sets are really, really quick. You guys lose the first set, you know it's going to be 15 points in the second one as well. So what is that focus to change things like as quickly as you can?
Yeah, momentum builds up quick. You know, if you don't fight off 2 or 3 points, if they let them get them more than 3, you're in trouble. So you got to really stay focused.
And for the first time on the AVP, it's not just you guys, San Diego Smash. Now you got Gina, you got Tony playing for another win. You guys hanging out for that one?
Heck yes, we'll be here supporting and rooting on our team.
I love it, ladies and gentlemen. The San Diego Smash starting off with a big win, a comeback win. Give it up for Chase and Miles in the San Diego Smash.
I love the conversation there, Kevin. They talked about focus, and you can't drop more than 3 points at a time. These two picking up the 3-set win over the LA Launch. The ladies taking the court next. Can they even the score? We will find out. Betsy Flint, Julia Scholes facing off against Gina Urango and Tony Rodriguez up next.